Yash, how do we make this non-duality pointers, how do we make that more actual in our life? How can we actually imbibe these pointers so that they're an actual inner experience and not just some mental, idea that we have? Lifestyle habits. See, if somebody's, let's say, wasting their semen all day, eating heavy foods, getting dopamine stimulation all the time, hanging out with people they're not auspicious, whatever. How are you going to practice non-duality pointings? How are you going to realize these pointings if you're living a lifestyle that's low vibration? You see, you can't just say, it's vibration, it's just a thought, low vibration, high vibration, everything's a thought. Don't do that. Don't do that. When I'm living a lifestyle that's higher vibrational, that lifts the vibration of this being, this body, mind, emotional, virtual software. It lifts the vibration of that. So then my intuition, my assimilation of these non-dualistic pointings, which are very subtle, I can eat them up better. I can digest them better. It's just common sense, I have another channel. I put it in the description box where I talk about semen retention. I really like that channel. That was my first channel I started, and I got a really good group over there. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. If someone is watching porn and masturbating and just having promiscuous sex and they're a sex addict type behavior, or trying to get always dopamine hits and validation from women, or if women do that big time too. Try to work it and get a guy to give them some validation so that you can get a dopamine hit. If we're doing that, we're not going to be able to. These non-dualistic pointings aren't going to actually land in the heart and explode. It's impossible. We'll just keep some mental idea of these teachings. They won't actually materialize through in our consciousness, you can say. There's a scorpion on my thing here. I'm going to leave it alone. It's just a thought. If it bites me, it won't hurt. It's just a thought. So that's one way, is preserve your sexual energy. Sexual energy is super powerful. It's super potent. It's like going from, when we're preserving our energy, it's like going from one of these old obsolete computers to like a Apple Mac. It's just a whole different deal. And then when we start to read or hear these non-dualistic teachings, it's like they just fuse with us more easier. Also, spend time in nature. Nature is the best practitioner of non-duality. You see? And our body and construct and everything is made from nature. We're made from the 5 elements. So when we sit in nature and we chill, we get grounded, and these subtle elements start to work on us. And prepare this vehicle to be able to assimilate non-dualistic teachings. And go to the beach. I love the beach. Don't go to a crowded beach and try to get dopamine stimulation. Go to a chill beach and just be one with nature. What does that mean? That means you just be conscious of how the elements are working on you. That's what it means. And reduce dopamine stimulation in your life as much as you can. Make a list of all the different ways that you're overstimulating yourself, usually because we're trying to escape some kind of discomfort or some pain. I'm going to make a video on chronic pain and non-duality. That's a big one. Somebody that doesn't have chronic pain, they can just tell you, it's just a thought, like, don't exist, and yeah, it's terrible. Like, this body has dealt with chronic pain for decades, so I know a lot about it. But what's the point? Reducing stress and dopamine stimulation. Because every time when we get stimulated externally, our attention is going to go external. we're not going to be able to, our attentions, remember the other video, the whole practice of non-dualistic teaching or pointers is to bring the attention inside and recognize this formless essence that we can also call non-duality. But if our attention's being stimulated and activated all the time, how are we going to recognize this? And if we don't recognize it, what's going to happen? It depends what stage we're in. If we've already been there, done that enough, then we're going to feel some suffering. We're going to feel some unsatisfaction. If we're still in that stage where we just full on, like younger people, like I used to be, then we'll feel good. We actually say, well, what are you talking about? This is how I feel good. But I'm talking to those who have already kind of been there, done that, and they want to realize this essence, this non-dualistic essence within them, because there's an inkling that this is how you can experience the peace and serenity that your deeper self wants to experience. And so then you might still have the habit, though, of chasing things externally and getting stimulated. And so this is what the video is about, is to be aware of that and to try to stop doing it. Diet. Don't eat heavy, hard to digest foods. You have to be sensitive when you eat something. How does that feel? Is it making your mind dull and your consciousness dull and lower because all the life force is going in to digest this food, so the life force can't, activate your higher glands, it's all about energy management. Like, we have a certain amount of energy, so the body is going to use that accordingly. If I'm eating food that's super heavy, you have to discern what heavy is for you. For me, it's a lot of meats and dairy and processed food, like that stuff's heavy. So if I'm eating food that's going to take, let's say, 45% of my energy to digest, versus if I eat meals and foods that take maybe 10%, I'm going to notice a difference in my vibration and how I'm functioning, in my level of perception. My perception is going to be less subtle if all my energy is going to digest this food. And if my perception's less subtle, these non-duality teachings, they're just going to remain in my head. They're not going to actually be activated. So we got to look at all this stuff. For those who are really dedicated and devoted to this teaching, if this non-dualistic pointers are for you, if this is your type, I made a video talking about which type of people does this teaching apply to the most. If you're that type, then you're going to find that these habits and lifestyle practices really benefit you, because you're going to apply the teachings better. You can assimilate them better, which means that translates into more serenity and inner peace. And if you have that, you've found the gold. You're good. You're done. You don't even need, you're not whatever. You're not chasing anything anymore. You're just chilling. You could sit in a dark closet forever and you'd be happier than those who are outside with all the attention, making millions of dollars, because that's kind of an artificial, it's not a serenity. It's a temporary pleasure. It's a counterfeit bliss. Let me know how this video went over for you guys. See you soon.